Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, the channel that is currently named Cooking with JB. I've got some really interesting things to talk to you guys about today. It is Friday, February 17th. I had somebody comment on one of my videos yesterday. A follower of mine, a very sweet follower named Julie Again is her username. And she commented on one of my videos and she said, have you considered changing your name on YouTube? Because she said she thinks perhaps that people are not clicking on my page because they think it's strictly a cooking page. She finished the comment by kind of saying, you know, I really don't know why you're not growing faster. And to be perfectly honest with you, I've kind of had the same thought before. You know, it's hard not to play the comparison game when you're doing this kind of thing. I've looked at other channels, the kind of content they're making, how much content they have, how many subscribers they have, how many views they're getting, things like that. And it does seem to me that I'm growing very slowly. But I responded to her comment and I said, you know, everything, I trust God and I trust His timing, and it'll happen when it's meant to happen. I said, but that's interesting that you think I should change my handle. And so I talked to Tom about it last night when I got home from work, because this was yesterday that she left that comment. So last night when I got home from work, I said, you know, I told Tom all of this, and I said, you know, maybe she's right. Maybe I should change my name. I've thought about it before, but not very seriously. And I have no idea what I would even change it to. Like, that's a thing in itself, trying to figure out what to even call it. And so we threw around a couple ideas, and nothing really sounded... Tom had one good idea that I liked, but I was like, I just don't know. And he said, well, it doesn't matter because it's probably not a good time to do it anyway. And I was like, yeah, you're right. We just kind of dropped it. But I did say a little prayer, and I was kind of just like, you know, guide me, Lord. If this is something I'm supposed to do, then, you know, help me know that. And I kind of dropped it, didn't really think about it again. Well, last night was pretty wild. I went to bed like normal. Actually, Tom and I watched The Mummy last night, the original one with Brendan Fraser. Love him. And yeah, so I went to bed and I had a dream, crystal clear. I can picture it perfectly in my head like it was a movie scene. My parents are standing on the front steps of my future home, and Tom is there too, but he's kind of off to the side sitting on the porch. And I walk right up to my parents and I said, God gave me the name for this homestead, and it's Faith and Arrow Homestead. Clear as day, no question. I said it with such conviction and such certainty, and then I immediately woke up. I turned my phone on. It was 2:35 in the morning, and I texted my mom and I told her pretty much what I just told you. And I told her in the text, I said, I cannot ignore that. The Lord has never spoken to me that directly before. I mean, there was no miscommunication, no question. It was straight and to the point. You are to name this Faith and Arrow Homestead. And I said, I cannot ignore that. This is what I'm supposed to do. And so my mom said, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, it sounds like it. And so I woke up and, well, so as I'm laying there, because I could not go back to sleep, as I'm laying there, I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? Because am I supposed to do this right now? Like, and then I started to kind of like doubt myself, and I was like, am I sure that this is really like from the Lord? And I just, as I had that thought, I had this overwhelming sense of peace and excitement. Like, I was excited. I was like, okay, we're doing this. This is supposed to happen. So I've been really excited to film this video, but I'm still just so bewildered because it happened so fast. She commented on my post. I kind of gave it a little bit of thought, chatted with Tom about it, kind of decided, meh, said a quick prayer. It wasn't even like a crazy down on my knees, Lord, please gift me wisdom. Like, it was just a quick in passing in my mind. I didn't even say it out loud. Like, okay, yeah, if this is something you want me to do, you know, help me out. And boom, like, planted the name Faith and Arrow Homestead perfectly in my mind. And I kind of meditated on it last night, and I realized that Faith and Arrow Homestead is the perfect name for my homestead. I'm going to break that down for you right now. So Faith to me in this journey that I've been on equals patience, and it equals moving forward when I don't know what the outcome looks like. Like, that's faith. Having patience, moving forward when you don't know what it's going to look like, and letting go of control. Trying not to control everything. Just letting the pieces, let the chips fall where they may, and do what you know you're supposed to do, and just have faith and have patience. And then the word arrow to me means action, movement. And that is what this homesteading journey for me and for so many others is. So I'll tell you my scenario, and then I'll relate it to some other people's scenarios too. So here I am on my 1/4 acre homestead. I live in a suburban neighborhood. I have 4 chickens and a garden, and I'm itching, dying, longing, and just passionately waiting for my farm, like so many of you are. And I have been on this whole YouTube journey, and I've been, trying so hard to just do what I know I'm supposed to do. God put these passions on my heart for a reason. I'm called to do these things. I rest easy in that knowledge. I feel good about this path. But in terms of the farm and moving forward in it, I've just had to kind of have faith that it's going to work out. But that does not mean that I can just sit on the couch and twiddle my thumbs and wait for God to make it happen. I still have to take action, right? So I'm doing 2 things simultaneously. I'm being patient, and I'm waiting for God to show up and fulfill His promise that He's made to me. And I'm using this time to move forward and do everything I can to prepare myself for that gift that I know is coming. I'm learning how to cook from scratch. I'm learning how to can and preserve food. I'm learning how to raise up animals and care for animals, and to respect them and love them, and to appreciate the gift of sustenance that they give us. I'm learning how to garden. I have been working so hard on organizing my home and cleaning my home and being a good steward of the space that I have now. Tom and I have been working so hard on our marriage and working together on these goals and communicating well, and just so many aspects of my life. I've been taking action. My spiritual life, my relationships, my relationship with my best friend Heidi, my relationship with my parents, like I said, my relationship with Tom. All of these places in my life, I have been working hard. I have been taking action. I have been moving forward to prepare myself for the gift that I know is coming. And as I'm doing all of that, as I'm being the arrow, I am also being still and opening my hands and saying, God, I have given this to you. I'm going to take the steps that are in my ability to take, and I'm going to have faith that you are going to bring me the rest of the way. You're going to do the rest of the things that I can't do, that I shouldn't do, and I'm going to let you handle it. Faith and Arrow Homestead. Guys, I did not come up with this. God gifted this to me. I'm not even kidding. This never entered my brain before last night. I had not seen those words. I had not thought of those words. When Tom and I threw around names last night, neither of those words were in any of them. He gifted this to me last night, and I am just so excited. Faith and Arrow Homestead. Patience and action together, working together. And is that not what this journey is? If you are watching this right now and you are sitting in an apartment and you just have this burning desire, this longing for the life that you want to live. You are sitting in your apartment and you are having patience and you are having faith that God is going to see it through for you. But in the meantime, you are growing herbs in your windowsill, and you're buying cookbooks at garage sales, and you're learning how to make bread, and you're learning how to cook from scratch and cook with whole ingredients, and you're doing everything that you can do in the season that you're in while you wait patiently for God to show up. And that, to me, is the homesteading journey. That's the journey. Faith and Arrow Homestead. Guys, I literally have not even fully processed this. There's one more connection that I want to make for you that I thought about while I was laying in bed last night. And that is, went to school in the South, and so I have dabbled quite a bit in archery because it was just offered in school. I actually think that was, if I remember correctly, it was, you know how when you have gym class, there's like a week where you do basketball, and there's a week where you do soccer, and there's a week where you do volleyball, where there was like a week that we did archery. We just all did archery. And then I loved it so much that I did it after school a little bit. I didn't compete or anything, but I've held a bow several times. And so I was kind of thinking back on the steps, and I also Googled them just to kind of help refresh my memory. The steps of using a bow and arrow match the steps of this journey so well. And I want to directly draw this metaphor out for you so you can fully understand. So the very first step when you are going to use a bow to shoot an arrow is to gather your equipment and to check your equipment and make sure that you have all the right pieces. The bow is sized correctly for you. You've selected the arrow that you want. The second step, once you have everything, is to get into your shooting stance. This is the first time that you're kind of checking yourself, and you know that you want to set yourself up in the very beginning to succeed the best you can. And for me, this was back a year and a half ago when I first started down this journey. This was me really deciding that the connection between what I wanted was directly correlated with my spiritual connection. And so they have grown together. My homesteading journey and my spiritual relationship with our Lord Jesus Christ have grown together greatly. And so I consider that checking my stance. I'm deciding that I want to get off on the right foot. I want to do this right. I'm checking my stance, getting in the correct position before I move forward. So the next thing that you want to do is nock the arrow. This is where the arrow has the little divot in the back. You put it into the bowstring, and then you set it down on the little rest. The arrow's on the rest. It's nocked and it's sitting on the rest. And to me, this is once you have checked your stance, you feel comfortable and you feel ready to move forward. You're continuing onward with the journey. The next thing that you're going to do is grasp the bowstring. So you're holding your bow, you've got the arrow nocked, you're going to grasp the bowstring. This is when things start to get really exciting. It's new, it's fun, it's thrilling. You can feel the string in your hand. You're learning how to can. You're learning how to cook from scratch. You tried to make a loaf of bread and it actually turned out, and you're excited. You're like, yes, this is worth doing. This is fun. This is exciting. That's the next step. Now at this point, you kind of slow down and you check your arm and your hand placement. So now this is the second check-in that you're doing in this process. You're making sure that you followed the instructor's directions correctly. You don't want the excitement to overwhelm you, because if you get overexcited, you can get sloppy and you can make mistakes. You have to stay rooted in your purpose, and you have to stay grounded and kind of remember why you're doing this and what you're doing it for. What's the outcome? Why are you doing this? So that's kind of the second check-in that you have on this journey. The next thing that you're going to do is draw the bow. You have followed all the steps, you've done all of the check-ins, you feel good about it, you have your hand on the bowstring, and you draw it back. This is where things can start to get a little scary. You're like, okay, wow, this is real. You're settled in the reality of what it is you're doing. Your instructor taught you how to properly follow all of the steps, and if you listened to him carefully and you slowly did all of the things you know you're supposed to do, you'll be fine. Next, you're going to find your anchor point, and this is you mentally moving on to the next step. So you've processed the fact that you're thrilled, you're a little scared, but you still feel good about the steps that you followed, and you say, okay, we're moving on. Next, you aim at your target. This is it. The noise around you dies out, and all you're left with is the voice inside your head. A part of you is scared because your instructor told you that if you don't follow all of the steps correctly, the string can snap back and actually hurt you. So there's a current of anxiety and a tinge of fear, or maybe a lot of fear. But if you listened and you moved slowly and carefully and with intention, you're ready to carry out your task. And your last step is to release the arrow. And you do. You muster every ounce of faith that you have. You trust the guidance of your instructor, and you know that you've done all you can to ensure your success. So you trust the outcome and you release the arrow. And then the last step is to analyze your shot, see where you land. And so I just think that that is the perfect analogy for this journey. It's the perfect balance of having the want, right? You're there in the first place. You want to participate in the task. And so you go through the dance of taking action, checking in, taking action, checking in, and you continue to grow and you process all of those feelings that we all have. The excitement, the thrill, the anxiety, the fear, it's all there. But at the end of the day, you move forward in the task because you believe in it and you're doing it for a reason. And I just think that analogy, that metaphor is perfect. It's beautiful. And so that leaves me with Faith and Arrow Homestead. I'm going to go ahead and change the name today. This is, what did I say, February the 17th? Yeah. February 17th, 2023, I am going to go ahead because I God forbid it gets taken or something. I looked it up this morning and they're available, at least on, I Googled it and nothing came up. So I think they're both available on Instagram and on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and change the name. I will still have my banner on YouTube because the guy that I need to contact, the guy that made the first one for me, to have him make me another one. So if you get confused, my banner will still be up, but I'm doing it. I'm going to go ahead and change my name. Julie, thank you for encouraging me and for giving me the idea. You were essential in this whole thing taking place. And I thank you, friend, for working with me on this and for believing in me and caring in the first place. I think that's wonderful. There's something else that I want to mention. I've had several very kind people reach out and say, hey, when are you going to get a P.O. box? I have stuff I want to send you. And I think that is so nice. I think that is wonderful. But I decided long ago, and I'm sticking with it, I'm not going to pay for a P.O. box until I start bringing in a little bit of income. I have invested a lot of money into this path of mine. Like, if you put all of it together, if you consider, like, I'm not just meaning YouTube, I'm also meaning homesteading. So if the chickens and the garden and the cameras and the equipment and all of the stuff I've purchased for the various videos, I have invested thousands into this path. And I don't think it's right to spend on something non-essential until I am bringing in some income. So I am going to wait on that until I become monetized. And as soon as I get that first paycheck, you guys, I will get a P.O. box. I think it's so sweet that you guys are interested. I want to give a little shout out to another follower, Angela, who she sent me, I have PayPal set up through my Linktree on Instagram. Where else? Do I have it on YouTube? I'll have to look into that. I have a Linktree, I have a PayPal. She sent me $20 and she was like, I have some stuff that I want to send you, but I don't have a way to send it to you. So go ahead and get yourself something. And she gave me $20. Angela, if you're watching this, why don't you let me know down in the comments what one of those items were that you were going to purchase me, and I'll purchase one of those because I'd like to have what you wanted me to have. I think that's very nice. But I just wanted to tell you guys, I certainly will someday get a P.O. box, but I'm not going to until I become monetized, just so you know. But thank you. I think it's so nice that some of you are interested in doing that. And the third thing, while we're being really real and intimate, the Cooking with JB is going away. And so J is my nickname, and B stands for Bean, which is my childhood nickname. But J is not my name. It is my nickname. And when I first started this YouTube channel, I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody my real name. I think that's, now where I am now, I think that's a little silly. And I've been so real and so raw with you guys. I mean, I have a 10-minute video of me sobbing. Okay, we're friends. We're friends now. You can't put up a video of you crying on the internet and not tell people your real name. So you guys, my name is Jaylee. It's like Haley, but with a J. Jaylee, that's my name. And I want to move forward with telling you guys my name and having you use my name because my name is very, very special to me. My dad's name is Jason, my mom's name is Lisa, and their nicknames are Jay and Lee. And so I'm their firstborn, and they named me Jaylee. And so I am equal parts my mom and my dad. My parents are incredibly special to me. I love them very, very much. I love that I am a little bit of both of them, and my name means a lot to me. So the nickname was cute. People in my everyday life do call me Jay. Friends call me that. Coworkers call me that. Some family members call me that. And you can continue to call me that if that's what you're comfortable with. But at this point in the journey, I just felt it appropriate to tell you guys that my name is Jaylee. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but I don't know. I feel a shift in my life lately and in this journey, and I just thought it was the right time while we're doing this to say, hey, Jay's a nickname. My name is Jaylee. So anyway, this was fun. I like have goosebumps. This has been crazy. This whole journey has been so incredibly life-changing for me. I mean, quite literally, my life has been changed. It has been changed. And so I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful to God for putting me on this path and for blessing me with these passions and these desires. And even though it's been hard, learning patience and learning to let go of control and to move forward in blind faith, those things are challenging, but it has been so rewarding and will continue to be so rewarding. And I'm here for the adventure. I'm here for the journey. I'm so excited. I can't believe that I have my homestead name. I've not really given it any thought. I know that other people have homestead names and farm names, and I just haven't really thought about it. Faith and Arrow Homestead. It's amazing. All right, you guys. Well, I'll see you in my next video. I already know what it is. I'm going to film it on Monday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned because the next video is going to be really exciting, and I'll see you then. Be blessed, my friends. Bye.